I recently got accepted into a PhD program. However, I still have to find a mentor and secure funding. I needed a system that would help me with my outreach and just help me keep everything organized during this process. I needed to keep track of follow ups, any status changes, and before I knew it, I was just getting so overwhelmed with sticky notes everywhere and a bunch of tabs open that I just could not seem to keep up with. I'm going to show you exactly what I did to create my PhD outreach tracker so that you can do the same thing. So if you are somebody who was interested in pursuing a PhD and you're just not quite sure about how you should go about trying to find a mentor, then this video is for you because I'm going to be walking you through it step by step. All right, so let's briefly just go over what is going to be on the tracker. The professor's name will show up here to the left, whether or not they're accepting students, yes, no, or unclear. If funding has been mentioned, it will give you a brief description of that lab in their research area. What are some of the current projects that they are working on? Any next action steps, any notes. It is going to prioritize the labs for you. So based on your interest, based on the CV that you submitted, and based on your long-term goals, whatever you feed Claude, it will do its best to prioritize all of these for you. It will also generate a lab environment score 1 through 5, 5 being a great lab environment score. And then if there are any red flags and student feedbacks. And then I've also added the translational potential because that was something that was important to me. Um, I've done marine biology research and research in other areas that just weren't of interest to me. It was fun. I enjoyed the work that I was doing, but long term is not something that I could see myself doing. I wanted to be involved in research where I knew that my work would eventually help people. Once you've been able to access your template, you can go into your Claude. I'm using the Claude desktop version for this example, and I'm on a MacBook. You will go into the settings. Your setup may be a little bit different, but for me, it's on the bottom left. If I click my name, choose the settings option, and over to the left-hand side, we're looking for connectors. If you don't, I already have Notion connected, but if you don't have Notion connected, you will just simply press Browse Connectors, and then you can type in Notion and then just use the plus sign to add it. If you have done that correctly, you will see your Notion added here. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is to add your prompt. I have my entire prompt pasted here. And again, you can find this down below, either in the description box, or I'll pin it to the first comment down below this video. And then I've just attached my CV. And the next thing I did was just attach the faculty page, just so that Claude can do a little bit more research about all of these PIs and their labs and what they're currently researching, and to see if it aligns with my interests. I also just let Claude know what my current research interests are. For this, I just said that I am interested in human microbiome. I would like to learn more about probiotics, if they could be used as a therapeutic to fight against pathogens. And the last thing that you want to add are your long-term goals. So I am considering possibly becoming a microbiology consultant and working with wellness companies to develop probiotics. I'm interested in industry or working with NGOs. It is located my tracker in Notion, which is great. So Claude has updated our Notion tracker. This professor, it looks like their research areas are the human gut microbiome and health, microbiome-based approaches to understanding autism spectrum disorder. And then right, it's giving us the next action steps. So for this first one, send an initial outreach email. You can have Claude to help you to draft that. If you don't hear anything back, it's suggesting that we follow up in 7 days. For this professor, it says send outreach email immediately, explicitly recruiting and prepare to discuss, letting us know what to discuss, and then follow up in 5 to 7 days. So it's giving us some additional notes here. It's telling us that this professor is actively recruiting students, which is really good. So that means that they most likely have funding. They did their postdoc at Yale School of Medicine, which is very impressive. And then it's connecting their research with a lot of my past experience. You can have Claude to help you to come up with drafting your email based on your CV. That was why I uploaded the CV. And then it is prioritizing all of these professors, giving us a lab environment score, personal interest level. Again, it's pulling this based off of what I gave it in the prompt and based off of what's on my CV. And then any red flags, if there are none identified on the internet. Some professors may not have the best reviews on websites like ratemyprofessor.com. If they did, it would let us know here. For example, this professor does not have funds for molecular biology PhD students. Must frame your application around computational AI interests to be considered. And then if there is any public student feedback that Claude can find on the internet, it's going to give me that as well. The next thing that I would do is to take a look at this tracker, learn more about their research area and their lab to see what kind of projects they're currently working on, and see if you can find some research articles that have been published by these PIs in the past and learn more about their research. When you're reviewing the research articles, see if you can think about some gaps in their research. It will help you to begin thinking about questions that you could ask in your meeting. That's something that I did, just so that I was a little bit more familiar before the last meeting that I had with a potential PI. But like I said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like more videos on this, please just let me know in the comments down below. This is a tracker that I'm currently using as I'm locating a PI and a mentor and preparing to start my PhD this fall. Just been extremely helpful for me personally, and I wanted to share it with you. And like I mentioned, I will leave a link where you could find a copy of this tracker down below, and then also the prompt that I use for Claude. You can find that down below as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, bye.